y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Ariana, but you can call me Ari. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Dive Ari and on TikTok at Dive Ari with 2 eyes. If you are a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you for holding and sticking with me because y'all know I be kind of inconsistent. I am trying. I just thank y'all for supporting me when I post every 6 months. I am trying. I hope you guys like this setup here. I feel like I can do makeup videos with this vibe. It's real nice. Let me know if y'all like it here. But yeah, so today's video, as you can tell by the title, I'm doing a makeup tutorial on how I got this look. I would say it's like a golden look. And so yeah, it's very detailed, step by step with products listed, and they will also be in the description box. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, if you haven't followed me on Instagram or TikTok, go ahead and follow me there. And let's go. Okay, so this is gonna be a mix between a voiceover and me talking to y'all. So whatever I don't get will be a voiceover. Thank you. So today we're gonna go for a golden look. So that is like a bunch of gold, brown, warm colors. When I do a gold look, I don't like to do cool tones just because it kind of takes away from the golden. Gold is warm, so you don't want to mix anything cool with a gold warm look, you know? Now I just want to say disclaimer, my makeup brushes are so dirty. Don't be like me. Just saying. So what I normally do first is my brows, but we're gonna go ahead and prep the skin. I did just use that wet wipe just to make sure anything excess makeup is off of my skin. Now before I start, I just want to say that I do have combination skin. So I do have an oily T-zone and the rest is kind of dry. So these products might not do well if you have dry skin. I'm not 100% sure. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my skin. I do live in Houston, so girl, if you know that humidity is ridiculous, okay, so for my primer I'm going to be using this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. It's an illuminating primer, so I like to just put that in my T area, or honestly if you are oily anywhere else, just put it where you're oily at. That's where we're going to prime. Next, what I'm going to use, since we're doing a gold look, I'm going to be using this L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. It's a natural glow enhancer. We're going gold, okay? So we need some glowy products, okay? Period. So I'm just going to use a little bit, not too much because we still have other products. So I'm going to go ahead and get my brows out of the way. What I use for my brows is I use Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color Ebony. Now I have a little bit of the brow left, so I don't really have much. I literally have this much. Y'all can't even see that. So I had to make sure I have enough for the whole brow. Ooh, it's pushing it. An easy way for me to blend a harsh line is just to use your spoolie at the end. How to make your brow look good is honestly like how you outline. I obviously don't like to outline the top just because it just looks too. I don't like a too perfect brow. I like it to look kind of natural, but also what I like to do, how I like to do my brows is I like to make sure the concealer in your brows is just a way for it to look A1. To clean up my eyebrow, I'm going to be using this Thread Concealer in the number 1. And you just want to get a flat brush, flat. It's just easier for you to apply the concealer. And you want to get a little bit. You don't want to get a lot. Honestly, to use a lighter color just because it makes your brows pop. I don't really like to use a concealer that is like my shade when it comes to making my brows more defined, because when you use a lighter concealer, it basically enhances the shape of your brow. Now, if you have the same color as your skin, it'll enhance it, but it won't look as defined as a lighter shade concealer. That's just my preference. I always start in the inner and I work my way down first, and then I work my way slowly, and I tend to do that arch on my brow so that it's more precise. It stretches my eyebrow in a sense. And I go back down. And this is all you need. Literally all you need. So I'm gonna let that sit for a minute, and I'm gonna do my other side. The reason why I'm letting it sit for a minute is because I really want it to stick a little bit, you know? So this, I'm gonna do the same exact thing, just like that, okay? Cool. So then next you wanna get a brush where you can blend. And you wanna be very gentle with this. It looks like I'm not being gentle, but I am. You just don't wanna brush or swipe inside your brow. So you kind of want to go under the line just a little bit and take your time with your brows. You see how it's still bright, but it's not too much. So now we're gonna go in with this side. If you have a concealer that kind of dried up a little faster and it's kind of hard for you to like blend it with your blending brush, all you have to do is do like one misty spray of like setting spray. Like I have NYX, you can use NYX, you can use uh I have a L'Oreal. It's over here somewhere. But you want like you really just want to have a setting spray that's a mist, nothing that like squirts out. Or else if your brush is too wet, you don't want that. So this is how I do my brows. Like it's really easy. So to make sure my brows stay in place, I'm going to be using this Merit Cosmetics. It's like a brow. I don't even know what it's called, you guys, but there's like no name on it, but I know it's from Merit. It makes your brows stay in place. I will put down what shade I'm using because it doesn't show on the package. Since I have kind of long brow hairs, it tends to move around and I want my brows to stay in place. And it kind of gives it like a tint from the shade that I'm using. Move it to how you want your brows to look like. These are what my brows normally look like when I do my makeup. So next I'm going to be doing my eyeshadow. And since we're doing a golden look, I have to use more cosmetics, okay? And this is the 35R palette. It just has tons of different shades of browns. So since we're going to be using different shades of brown and golds, what I really want is for it to be very pigmented and I want it to show. So you definitely want to have a primer. I am using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. And just put it all on your eyelid. And then I just blend with my fingers. If you don't have an eyeshadow primer, just use the original primer that you use. So first thing we're going to do is you want to get a really fat brush because we're going to do our base. So our base is the main color of our eyeshadow, of course. I'm going to be using this shade right here, so it kind of matches my skin complexion. But that's going to be the base. Now the base you kind of apply everywhere on the eyelid and you don't have to worry about blending properly. Like it's a base, just make sure like the colors evenly dispersed on your eyelid. Now I'm gonna go in with another one where it's slightly darker than our base, and we're gonna only really focus on the lid, not the whole, like the center, if that makes sense. So since I have this green like going on, I don't know if I want to do a pop of green or should I just stick it to the brown. Like, I truly don't even know. I'm gonna stick to browns because it's cool. Not everyone likes green. Okay, so since I did that, I feel like I really want to do like a dark like a make the eye pop in a sense. I'm gonna go in with this dark color right here. I can do this, you can do it. This one you can definitely use a smaller one if you're not good at like being precise. Like you can use something like this compared to this because you want to make sure you're focusing on a specific area on your eye, that area, and you're not like dragging it out to the top or anything like that. So now we're gonna go back in with the big brush and we're gonna use a little bit of the second color to blend those two out. Okay, so next we're gonna do our concealer, and L'Oreal sent me two of their, it's like Skin Ink. They said it was a mix of foundation and concealer, so I got two of them. One is in the shade 180, and it is a cool. Remember, we're not doing cool, so I won't be using the 180. The next one I have is a 140, and it's warm. So we're gonna use that. It does say to shake well. We're gonna use a little bit. Since it kind of does match my skin, I'm gonna use it as a base for my concealer. It looks really good actually. Like it's my first time using it, so I was like, we're gonna see how I do. So now you want to get a smaller concealer brush just to blend this out. It kills me when a lot of girls want to do and then they just like, oh, I don't want to do all that makeup. Babe, to have a beat face, you're gonna have to work. It's like required for you to use a good amount of makeup. If you're the girl that's just like, oh, lashes, a little bit of concealer that doesn't have any coverage, girl, that's you. But over here we do full coverage, we do beats. Okay, so this is actually a really good concealer. Like I like how it makes my face. That's a good concealer. Okay, L'Oreal, tens across the board. Tens across the board. Thank you. That's actually really good. Like that would definitely be like a good no makeup foundation. Actually, like it's light. It feels very light. Okay. Okay. So next we're going to be doing foundation, and I use the YSL All Hours foundation. My shade is MN6. So what I normally like to do is I have my Laura Mercier, and this is the translucent pure setting spray. I spritz I prefer to have my brushes have a little bit of moisture to it when I do my foundation. So I just did 2.5 pumps of the foundation. Now, one area that I'm not going to apply my foundation is where we just put the concealer, the L'Oreal concealer. I'm not going to apply nothing there because it's one thing to use a lot of makeup, but it's one thing to cake your makeup. And I think people look at using, oh, you use so many different makeup products. That's not cakey. Cakey is whenever you put makeup on top of makeup on top of makeup on top of makeup. That's what makes it cakey. To avoid cakiness, I'm just going to avoid where I put my concealer at. I honestly hate when my lips look like that. So this is a full coverage foundation. I love it so much. And you see, I have acne scars and they're no longer to be found. You love that. Okay, so next I'm going to go back with my concealer. My favorite thing to do when it comes to concealer is I love a highlighted concealer. Okay, so I'm going to go in with same threads but in the number 2, and I'm going to do a few. I really want it in the inner corner of my eyes more than anything. Okay, so we're going to put concealer right there. So next we're going to do is I'm going to go in with my concealer. So I drag it out just a little bit from where I had it, and originally I just drag it out just a little bit because I like my eye to be bright. Like I like for it to pop. I'm gonna go in one more time, just a little bit more. So next is concealer, and I love using Thread Beauty. This is in the number 10. It is a little too dark. I cannot find my others, so we're gonna have to make this work, okay? A little bit for me goes a long way. It is chocolate. So I just do 2 right there, 2 right there, 1, 2, and then 3. And we're gonna blend all of that. And you're gonna see like why a little bit goes a long way for me, because my complexion is light. Okay, so concealer, dirty brush. I'm sorry. But I have my NYX. I want to make sure the concealer is like it flows, if that makes sense. So again, I don't like blending with a dry brush, or else you will get that chalky look. So some people have issues on where to place the contour. I prefer to place it like a little above my cheekbones, just like a little bit. I don't like to place it on it. Makeup is an illusion, right? So if you want to have high cheekbones, place them a little bit higher. Focus on this area, and then I work my way down. Then right here, focus on this area. Then I make my work like this way, work my, and I kind of blend harshly on my forehead because we're gonna blend that in a second, and then work my way this way. You might have to get some more spray on your brush so for it to move nicely and effortlessly. Mind you, we're going for a golden look, so you definitely want to have brown. Like you want to have the bronzer, the contour. I don't have a bronzer. Mine is all out, unfortunately, but that's why I'm going in with a, deep chocolate contour. And then the remaining is totally up to you if you want to do your chin. Next is I'm going to be using blush, and I am in love with this color blush right here. This is the IT Cosmetics Glow with Confidence Sun Blush, and this is in the color Sun Blossom 20. This color here, I've been obsessed with it. It kind of, if I were to describe it, I would say salmon coral. Like it's like a very light pink. But I'm someone that doesn't really like blush. But this one I've used one out of my makeup every single time, ever since I got it. So IT Cosmetics, thank you. Got a down with that color for sure. I apply it right here, and it's like very subtle. It's very flirtatious. I kind of put it like on top of a little higher than my contour. But my thing is, since it's so pink, I don't want to have, what's it called, blush blindness, blush blind. I don't know, color blindness, I guess. And now I'm going to just, you want to grab another brush and you're going to just set that in there. Mind you, we haven't applied any powder yet, okay? So you don't want to apply powder on top of a cream if you're not done with your other creams, okay? Because you just really don't want to apply cream on powder. That's when it looks cakey. Just saying. Okay, so this is our face as of right now. We still have to blend that, don't worry. Now, I am begging, if a makeup company is watching this, I'm begging for y'all to send me a new palette. I've had this palette for years. Okay, I'm using NYX Studio, no, BH It's not even NYX. It's BH Cosmetics. If you know BH Cosmetics, you was doing makeup for a long time. Girls know BH Cosmetics, okay? Thank you. This is BH Cosmetics Studio Pro. This is the contour, so you can't even get this nowhere. I don't believe. So I'm using their second to darkest color, and I'm gonna start with my forehead, my temple areas, and then I'm gonna go in. I go in a little lower on my contour because you don't want to put on top of the blush. We're not doing that, okay? When I am putting this powder on, I'm kind of setting the powder. What? When I put a powder over my cream, in a sense, you are basically setting that powder. Just like with concealer, we put a setting powder, we're locking that color in. So now I'm just going to blend this. So next I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal. But before I do that, actually, hold on. For the powder for our concealer, I have to use the Queen of Queens, Laura Mercier. Thank you. And again, don't look at my blush. Okay, this is Elf. I only use it for my powder. Key to having a nice setting under eye where it looks matte is you really don't want to have a lot of powder. I know people say they use the cake, but even when you cake, you don't want to have powder sitting on your face. Kind of want like the leftovers. So I have the leftovers, and you'll see. Thank you. See this right here is, you see that? This is like a bunch of powder. You want to blow that off. You don't want all that on your face. What I love to do is press deep in my face though when I put it on. And we're about to do lips. So I normally like to, when I do my lips, I need to have a dry lip. All right, so we're done with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in right here and just bring the color back. We're gonna go in with this flammable 3-second setting mist. And it really just holds everything in place. So I cannot find my lip liner anywhere. That's perfectly fine because this is the exact same shade as I was gonna do. This is from Sashu. This is a lip liner stay in. So if you heard about this, all you have to do is like outline your lips carefully, and you have to wait about like 5 to 10 minutes, and you just unpeel it. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right. So just like this, I'm gonna be back in like 10 minutes, and I'm gonna unpeel it. Okay. So it dried up. So you see that it already dried up. So we're gonna go ahead and peel it. Ew. Ew. Hold on now. There you go. So I kind of just leaves a stain on your lip. If you have plans to go out and you don't want to bring too much in your purse, or you don't want to have to reapply too much, this is the final look after using Sashu lip stain. So for my lip, I'm gonna use Bobbi Brown in the color Salmon. So I actually want my lips to be a little darker on the outside, and y'all, I had to get a little, I have to improvise because I cannot find none of my lip liners, which is actually making me a little sad. So I'm gonna go in with the contour I use for my face, threads, and I'm gonna use a very small applicator, and we're just going to outline the lips just a little darker, just a little bit more. Okay, then we're gonna go in with my MAC lip gloss and the color Please Me. I love MAC gel matte. Okay, that is that. Now we are not done with the face. If you thought we were done, we're not done. I really do like to contour my nose a little bit, so I'm gonna go in with the contour that I used, and we're gonna lightly apply. I will say, if you are not good at doing your nose, I would do a light brown concealer and work your way up to the color that you need. Do not start with the dark one. It's easier to build than it is to take away. And then I kind of just like to blend it towards my eyeshadow. Since there's shades of brown, the sun is a little harsh, but we just gotta blend it out just a little bit more. Okay, so what I like to do whenever I have a golden makeup look, I like to add gold, of course, more gold to it. So we're gonna go back in with the Morphe Cosmetics, and they have like, this palette has a bunch of shimmery colors. If you like shimmer, this is definitely for you. If you don't, you can go ahead and skip this if you like. The gold, and I like to put it in the inner part of mine. And honestly, feel free to use a lot of glitter because it is a gold look, right? So I do like to go a little overboard, just a little bit, because it's gold and I just feel like it's a great pop of color. Another thing that you can also do, which I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna add in like a white glitter on my eyebrow, just a little bit. All right, then we're going to just blend that out just a little more. So next up is lashes, and yeah, I'll be right back with the final look. Okay, so this is the final look. Did my lashes off camera. If you want a video on how I did them, they're cluster lashes, so they can come off whenever. I can change them whenever. Yeah, so this is like the golden. It's like, I would say a natural beat, but it's like goldish. You know what I'm saying? It's gold. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you have any other videos you want me to do, I'm gonna come back and probably like a chit chat video or something for y'all. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Diary of Ari, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.